All right, welcome back into another edition of Poolside Bets. I'm Franklin, that's Paul. You can catch us on Twitter at Poolside Bets, YouTube at Poolside Bet, no S. Remember, like and subscribe, hit the little bell, ding. That way next time we give you the notification. But give us the like, that'd be great. And subscribe. Like to have all the likes and subscribers. So anyway, we're going to get it started. Here we are in week, I don't know what week we're in now. I can't keep track. It's Jayhawk week. That's basically what I know. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
Over in Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence. So look, we went out to Clarksdale High School practice today. We're going to start a little local today. But anyway, that's where we're going to go. Paul's got some information for us. I think we finally got us a roster and got all the names and...
You just gonna act like we ain't got a damn backdrop?
Oh, yeah. Take a look back there. We finally got us our backdrop back there. We are getting close to official if we ever work out the rest of the details. We never did hire any new interns like we said we were. We fired them all, and we're still looking. We're taking interviews. If you want to send in your...
We kind of refurbished one, didn't we?
Well, she was a bring back, so that don't really count. So, yeah, send in your resume to at Poolside Bets on the Twitter there, and we'll take a look it over.
All you need to know is lefty, loosey, righty, tighty.
That's the one.
We can teach you everything else.
So, Paul.
Yo.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How was the weekend?
Oh, I got all the sleep. All of it.
I didn't get a whole lot Saturday night.
All the sleep. Great time.
I took a little nap Sunday. Tried to. The kid wouldn't let us nap, but that was okay.
Adulted like a champion.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that for one bit because I was there. So I'm pretty sure there wasn't a whole lot of adulting going on Friday or Saturday night. Great night Monday night for my 49ers. Nick Bosa and crew doing their job. And Debo Samuel's the man out there on the offensive side of the football. But we're going to go local. Like I said, Clarksdale Wildcats. Paul, let's get it started. What do we got on the Clarksdale Wildcats after the big conference win against Greenwood last week?
They went out there and beat the mess out of Greenwood.
Isn't that what the coach said they were going to do?
Yeah, well, he said there's going to be a good game and both teams are really talented. And I'm going to start.
That was the coach speech part,
I'm going to start a segment of coach speech, and then I'm going to tell you what he really meant.
Well, I know what he said, what he meant. Yeah,
what he said, what he meant. All right, now they won 42-6. Kelly Jones, senior quarterback, absolutely went
dominated,
ham,
right?
As the kids say.
Hey, look, can I just make one observation there? The kid went off, right? I mean, you were about to give us the stats.
I was trying.
But out there at practice today, look, he's tall, lanky, but boy, he's got all the athletic ability. I mean, I can see how he can hit the hole and get skinny and get through there. I just hope they keep him healthy for the rest of the year. But, yeah, tell us what Kelly Jones did last Friday night.
509 yards rushing.
Well, as a team, they had 509, right? Okay.
That's my math that I got.
All right.
Kelly Jones had 13 carries for 346 yards, unless that was a misprint. He had one 90-yarder, had 4 touchdowns on the ground.
So you're telling me...
And they're going to make this guy play cornerback.
The quarterback ran it for over 3 bills.
Yes, sir.
Who is looking to go to Mississippi State to play safety? Corner?
He's going to play DB somewhere at State. I don't know which position, but... Monrecus McGregory, sophomore, 11 carries, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sophomore, this is a new one. Bryston, what? Oh, my God, I can't. All right, let's get this out.
He can't read his iPad and put his head down too low.
He literally has a laptop in front of him. I'm working off an iPad. I can't.
We'll have to get you a teleprompter.
And I apologize for the young men I'm trying to read out their names because they'll get interrupted every 5 minutes.
Go ahead. Kelly Jones, 300-something bills. And then
Marcus McGregor, 11 carries, 77 yards.
Okay.
2 tutties. Bryston Williams, sophomore, 12 carries, 86 yards. That's a new name.
Sophomore, okay.
He has 2 sophomores. I also want to read out the starting offensive line for Clarksdale High because you can't do all that running
without those boys.
Unless somebody's up there getting pancakes.
And of course, like I said, at practice today, we watched them. Of course, they're going against their own guys that they know. But look, they look like they are coached well. They know what they're doing. So, let's give them a shout out. The offensive line.
Yeah, this is what's scary about the whole thing. Left tackle, James Lewis, Jr.
Okay, another year.
Left guard, Fred Dumas, Sr. Center, Patrick Johnson, Jr. Right guard, Kyron Williams, Jr. Right tackle, London Butler, Jr.
They literally bring back everybody but one next year. And wasn't he a guard?
Yeah, left guard.
I mean, if you're going to replace somebody, it's better there at the guard position than having to do the tackle or center. So they're set up well moving to next year. Really young across the offensive line and playing fantastic. You like you said, you don't rush for that many yards if your offensive line's not getting it done.
No. Defensively, they shut them down. I mean, Daniel Williams, of course, senior Daniel Wilson had 13.
Daniel Wilson, that's my kid. He's been killing it all year long. How many tackles did he have this week?
13 tackles.
Another 13. Goodness gracious.
Junior Kevian Gilmore had 14 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Jaquarius Heron had 8 tackles as a sophomore. He's got 2 more years there. Senior Cameron Mackey had 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 QB hurries. Getting ahead of myself. And then Simeon Ross had 6 tackles and a tackle for loss. I didn't read all the defensive stats because there was a ton of them.
Everybody was getting in and on it.
Yeah. They got Gentry up next. Should be able to roll in that game. It's at home. It's homecoming. They'll be fired
Friday night homecoming for the Wildcats. Everybody come out and support the Wildcats Friday night. Big homecoming.
Yeah, celebrating that 98 team that went out there and won 4A state title that year.
Yeah, took the title down. That's right.
Yeah. I got it 35-6. They beat Gentry.
Was that not your well, that's not your senior year if they won it in 98 because that would have been the fall of 98. So wouldn't you have already graduated in the spring of 98?
No, I graduated class in 98, so.
I know, so you graduated in May of 98, so but if they won the title, wouldn't that have been the fall of 98? So that would have been after you graduated?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I'm good at math.
Either way, it was close. It was right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I got on Clarksdale High. I mean,
hey, look, we want to get
things are starting to come together.
We're starting to get more and more information. We were both out there at practice today, and look, they got it going out there. They you can see it from how far we were 100 feet away. You can see the confidence in every one of them. They know their assignments. They know exactly what they're supposed to do. Those coaches are doing a great job. One of my classmates out there, Trent Chess, shout out to Trent, came over and said hello today. Want to get his name out there. We met Coach Hill today.
Yep.
There's actually an assistant principal over at Higgins.
Yeah.
And getting his work done over there with the Wildcat. So we appreciate Coach Hill telling us to come by Friday night. It's going to get us in there. So we hope to. I plan to be out there Friday night. I talked to a bunch of my high school class from 1995. I know they're planning to be out there setting up some tents and doing some cooking. I know some other classes are. So look, if you're a part of Clarksdale High School any year, come on out Friday night. These guys are absolutely playing their tails off, and I don't think they're going to have any problem with Gentry.
Shouldn't.
I mean, they understand Gentry's going to play well. They've been one of the decent teams in that conference, but look, it's homecoming. Come out there, get it going, get the crowd going, and let's take this thing home. Hey, good luck to the Wildcats, and love to see Kelly Jones have another big day. And I'm sure my boy Daniel Wilson across there on the defense been doing it all year. Got no doubt he's going to make it happen at the linebacker position there Friday night.
Yeah, that's it's going to be a good game. I hope a big crowd shows up.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do my part. Like I said, I already donated a little bit of money to get some food going.
There you go.
We got the class. It was kind of unofficial. It's not really an official class of 95 deal going on Friday night, but a few people got together. I know they're going to set up that afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully maybe we get a few more listeners. They actually asked for the podcast, how to find the podcast. So
there you go.
Yeah, maybe doing work, trying to get it out there. So look, that's Clarksdale High, and typically we do come back with you with a little bit of Lee Colt action. All I'm going to tell you, we're going to have a special interview tomorrow. We're going to do another show. We're going to incorporate the Lee Academy Colts into our college show tomorrow night. We're going to have a special guest named Bobby Spinks, who is the play-by-play voice you hear on the YouTube live for the Lee Academy Colts football. Didn't catch them much last week, Paul, because I was out And there go our cameras, but we're still getting audio. And we come back.
And we're
There
back.
we go. There have been a lot of internet issues around town lately. So
That call last week, that league game, was pretty much like 1st and 10 from the 30, touchdown.
yeah, look,
I don't from the 40. Touchdown.
I don't have all the stats because Bobby hadn't sent it to me yet, but we'll get that tomorrow. But I think I heard him say William Walker, the junior quarterback there for the Colts, had over 250 yards passing.
Oh, slanging it.
Hey, and around here, that is absolutely slinging the football. And I can't wait to see Tanner Fave's stats out there at the wide receiver position.
Well,
he's been incredibly efficient this year, and I'm sure he got his share of catches and yards as they completely dominated the Marshall Patriots. And that was a district game for them, so they are out and running at 6-1 and have a leg up in their conference, and they're ready to go. So again, stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll probably get that out Friday morning. Get that show done tomorrow night. Like this one will be up on Thursday. We'll do a show tomorrow with Bobby and touch on the Colts tomorrow night. Or if you're listening to this, it'll be Thursday night.
Be tonight.
It'll be tonight. That's right. So anyway, let's move on.
Yep.
We got a big weekend this week because I kept scrolling and I couldn't scroll very fast because I literally had a thought about every single game, it seems like, this weekend. Look, been rolling pretty good. You got to make sure. And you say, well, Franklin, did you cash in? Yeah, I had several tickets to cash each weekend. Not as much as I would have liked. Went 8-2 2 weeks ago on the picks that I put out. Last week, oh man, Minnesota and Kent State really did me wrong. But boy, I think I went like 4-2 in the old dog money line I had. That wasn't too terrible there. Maybe 3-3. I don't know. I think Wyoming sucked it up late. But look, we've got some picks out there. You got to pick the right ones, and most of my best bets have been pretty good. And Paul, if you'll just stick to the ones that you talk about, maybe things will get.
I got commitment issues.
Come Saturday morning, where are things going awry?
Nah, it's just commitment, man. You know, I don't like to hang around too long. I pick a team on Wednesday. By Saturday, I done moved on to another team. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens. No. They can't stick around forever, I guess.
No. I like.
So, yeah, let's move on to the weekend. Anything you want to talk about last weekend?
Last one? No.
No?
No. I don't think so. Do
I know one team out there that was one of my dog picks that kept hope alive, stayed undefeated, and now this Saturday, for the first time in school history, College game day is going to Lawrence, Kansas.
What the hell?
For the Jayhawks, as they took down Iowa State, who I told you to take the Jayhawks on the money line. If you go back to our second podcast we ever did, told you to watch out for the Kansas Jayhawks. Lance Leopold doing his thing. Congratulations to the Jayhawks. Yeah. Let's move on. We'll let Paul get moving along. I know he
No, I'm listening.
He gets tired of me talking about the Jayhawks.
I wanted you to have your moment. You know who wants Jim Leonard at Wisconsin to do really well?
Who's
Nebraska.
That? It's Nebraska.
They don't want no competition for that Leopold.
Yeah,
fella.
Look, there's going to be tons of Leopold. Hey, if you're a Jayhawk fan, enjoy it.
Yeah,
here's what you hope, that he has created a culture. He's brought in players that hopefully they're going to be around for a couple of more years. And you got to be that team that you go out and you get that next up and coming guy every year. And that's what you hope. You hope that if Leopold leaves, you just get the next. Don't try to make a splash hire. Just go get the next Leopold. Yeah. That's what you're hoping to do there in Kansas.
Yeah, be that job everybody wants to make that next step.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's absolutely, and it works for a lot of places. How long did Arkansas State do that? Think about how many coaches came through there and made their next leap. And Arkansas State had a great time there.
Yep.
All right, so I've got a lot to discuss, so why don't we move along to this week and the college football that is ahead. Yep. Anything Thursday and Friday, Paul?
No, I do want to talk about something that I kind of looked at. I just want everybody to understand. So we talk about line movement, we talk about numbers, we talk about this stuff. One of the things I want everybody to pay attention to, if you're looking at these numbers, is we call it reverse line movement. And just real quickly, what that is when a lot of money's going one way, and that spread typically should go up for whatever team is getting the money.
Other way.
But it's going the other way. All right, so for an example, Washington State and Idaho played. 78% of the money was on Washington State. 83% of the money was on Washington State. The spread was 28. They never moved that line. It didn't move.
They weren't scared.
The final score was 24-17. They knew that they wasn't going to cover, and they just let you keep betting it.
That's right.
So watch out for those things before you make these final picks. Just look at the money and see what's going on, because that line's moving the opposite way of the money. That tells you something's crazy's happening.
Well, speaking of the same type situation you're talking about, last week, Ole Miss opened at -4 against Kentucky. A lot of sharp money early came in on Ole Miss, and that made that line go up to 5 or 6, I believe. And then money started pouring in on Kentucky. So what should that have line? Money starts pouring in on Kentucky at 5 or 6. What should the line have done, Paul?
On Kentucky?
Yeah, if it was 5, the line was 5 or 6.
Yep.
Ole Miss.
Right.
The money starts pouring in on Kentucky.
It should have came down.
The line should have come down.
Right.
The line went up to 7. Now, look, this is a situation where they didn't cover, but there were 2 or 3 situations in there. If Ole Miss doesn't let Barry and Brown get loose, Ole Miss wins that game by what, 17, 20? I mean, so Vegas wasn't scared. Now, they got burnt on this one, but a lot of times, watch that. You can find out where Vegas is scared or not scared, depending on how they move the line.
Yeah. Another example is Navy and Delaware played earlier this year. 88% of the bets were made on Navy. 98% of the money was on Navy. They lost the game outright.
Yeah, and
the line went the other way.
It went the other way.
Yeah.
Vegas didn't care. Yeah,
so
they weren't worried.
That's just something to look at. I mean, don't. And we talk about blindly betting. So if you're looking at numbers, I like that game, and you don't look any further than this. This is something you can look at. And Vegas Insider and Action Network, and there's a few other sites that have these numbers out there.
And it's never a bad idea to fade the public, like Paul's mentioned. If you look where the money, if 80% of the money is going on one team, and you're on the other side, stay there. Yeah. Don't say, well, everybody else must be smarter than me. No, it's usually when you're on the opposite side of the major public money, a lot of times you're on the right side.
Yeah. Nebraska Rutgers opened up at 7.5, down to 3. 67% of the bets on Nebraska. 93% of the money's on Nebraska.
You know why?
And the line's moving the opposite way.
Yeah, because Nebraska beat. Was it Indiana last week?
I think Rutgers might win that game outright.
I do too, because Nebraska's overvalued because of that one little move. And you said the line's moving the other way.
Yeah.
So that should tell you right there that Rutgers is probably not a bad play there, and not a bad money line dog play.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up. So if you hear us say reverse line movement, that's kind of what we're talking about. I mean, there's line movement, there's money.
Because a lot of times you see money pouring in on one team, and you know the line should be moving in a certain way. No. If it moves the other way, that's called a reverse line movement. That means Vegas ain't scared of you.
Yeah. And if you really like a game and it's moving the right way, it's just normal line movement, that tells you to go get it that day.
Yeah. Get it early.
It's not going to go the other way.
No, it won't move the other way. That's right. All right. So you didn't like anything Thursday, or that seems like there was a game Friday night that I was kind of intrigued by, but Oh, that's the game, Nebraska-Rutgers Friday night.
I like Rutgers. I like Central Florida tonight. I don't know what that score is, but
yeah, they were what? They weren't a very big favorite tonight.
2.5.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked that game, but I didn't get on it either. No. I think John Rice Plumlee and the crew is going to go out there and win that game. They're playing SMU.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have gone down since. Boy, how much has that guy raised his stock?
Talking about John Rice?
No. The coach that left left SMU and is now Tech?
Sonny Cumbie,
Yeah.
he go to Tech.
I know it's not K-State. Tech.
I don't know.
Went to Texas Tech, right? Where did he go?
I don't know.
Doing a pretty good job. Well, no, maybe it's not Texas Tech. Maybe TCU.
No, that's Sonny Dykes.
That's who I'm talking about.
He left smooth. Yeah.
Dykes left smooth.
Yeah.
No, not Cumbie.
Okay,
Yeah.
I should have called
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
That's
yeah.
on me.
Sonny Dykes left Southern Methodist,
Yeah.
went to TCU, and now TCU's undefeated.
Yeah.
You talking about raising your stock?
Yeah.
Congratulations to Sonny Dyke. He's just printing money over there.
Doing well.
That's not a bad place to be. Downtown Fort Worth is absolutely beautiful. You've never been to a TCU game? Go find yourself in that campus in the middle of Fort Worth. You'll understand
I ain't
what
gonna
they
lie.
like about
I
it.
went there for something for a game. It was TCU and it was Texas Tech, and it was when Mahomes was still there actually. And
Tech.
for some reason, all the male students were Daisy Dukes, and I didn't understand. I'm from Mississippi.
There at TCU?
Yeah, they had.
I don't remember seeing that when I was there. I lived at Fort Worth for about a year and a half.
I must have went on the wrong week.
It's a beautiful city. I mean, it's gorgeous. Downtown Fort Worth is beautiful.
A bunch of male.
Well, quit looking at the.
flags.
Hey, why didn't you look the other way? You're looking at the wrong people. Why are you looking at males? That's the question we all have, I think.
It's 100,000 people. 50,000 of them had Daisy Dukes on, and they were male.
I think you maybe you drank too much. The
I
night
did
before.
not.
That don't sound right to me.
I'll get a
I'm
witness.
gonna ask the intern sitting in the corner. She's been down around there. You seen any Daisy Dukes downtown Fort Worth? No, she says no. Yeah, so I look. We apologize. I apologize for the camera situation. It looks like we're having internet issues, and that's okay. We keep going in and out, but look, you can hear us, so just keep listening. That's all you want to hear. You don't want to look at our faces. We got bad lighting. One day we're gonna have better lighting, and we look incremental. We're baby steps. We've got the backdrop. And next time we're gonna have maybe some lights. We'll see. That's if Paul ever come out of his pocket, help out, but we'll get there.
Got Monopoly money.
You mentioned that last night.
Monopoly money?
Yeah, you mentioned the Monopoly money last night.
All right.
All right, moving along. You like Rutgers Friday night?
I like Rutgers. You want me to give you my plays or?
Just you don't have to give play. I mean, we could do some of that tomorrow night with narrow down our actual big plays. We can just talk about games we're looking at and ways we're leaning tonight.
I'm looking at Rutgers +7, top 25 in total defense, getting points at home to a Nebraska team who nobody knows what in the hell's going on with that team.
Rutgers is at home,
Right.
so Nebraska's traveling. Maybe I looked at that wrong. For some reason, I thought
Piscataway, whatever they say. What is it called?
somewhere in New Jersey, right? Is that New York or New Jersey?
No. New Jersey, I think.
Piscataway or no?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Both teams
I'm
get
sure
a-
we said that wrong.
Yeah, both teams get a lot of penalties. Rutgers averages 8 penalties a game. Nebraska's averaging 7. Rutgers will make the stops that count here. I think they'll win this game outright. They'll definitely cover. Southern Miss +7 at Troy. I'd like Southern Miss there.
Okay, let's just talk about it. Just shouting out numbers. Hold on just a second. I got something to talk about Southern Miss. I got a note on Southern Miss if anybody is curious. So there are 5 teams in the FBS that are undefeated against the spread. They're either 4-0 or 5-0 this year against the spread. One of those teams is University of Southern Mississippi down there in Hattiesburg. They travel to Troy, Troy has gotten better every single week since week 1. John Summerall's doing a great job there with the Troy Trojans. But, University of Southern Mississippi traveled to Troy, and they are 5-0 against the spread this year. And you like the Eagles, the Golden Eagles.
I like the team getting to 7. Frank Gore Jr., he may throw for 200 yards and run for 300.
Are they still using him as a quarterback? Surely not.
Well, his daddy played for 14, 15 years in the NFL.
Well, his
He'll at
daddy
least
was
get-
an absolute stud.
He'll at least
come
get 6
on.
or 7 in college. He's been there a minute.
Yeah, Frank Gore Sr. was an absolute man. Looked like a bowling ball is what he looked like when he running downhill. So you picked a team that's 5-0 against the spread, and you'd say, give me the points against the Troy Trojans, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. I just wanted to make a point there. I mean, we're just talking. No reason to just shout out numbers to the people. They may not understand what we're doing. So next game, what else are we looking at, Paul?
I like Air Force -10 at Utah State.
Hold on just a cock and picking minute.
Okay.
Air Force
Yeah.
travel to Utah State.
Yeah.
This is one of my other games of note because I had so many games that. So look, you see it right there.
Pick 'em all, man.
I know, but I just felt comfortable this week. I don't understand because the lines are small this week. There's so many -3s out there this week, and I'm gonna fall into some traps. I know I am, but Air Force at Utah State is awful.
They're average.
And I like the Falcons.
Yeah, they're giving up 30 points a game. Air Force's defense is in the top 20 total defense this year. They
okay.
They should be able to. If they control the ball and let that clock run, they should be able to cover 10 pretty easy.
It'd kind of be like that. What was it? The Air Force Colorado. What was it? Colorado game that we watched where Air Force ended up finally putting it on them. Was it Navy? I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was close.
We had Air Force -17, and they ended up just putting it on them. Don't worry about the intern making all the noise. It's totally fine.
We don't pay her.
That's why she's been fired and rehired twice.
She's right at the end of her hour. She doesn't get paid after the next minute.
She's totally out because she's not getting paid OT. So yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Paul. I had them in my other games of note. I think that's a safe play against Utah State there.
All right, my next game I got is Kentucky -10.
Oh,
They're hosting South Carolina. Spencer Rattler is maybe leading the nation and holding the football, not getting rid of it.
just sitting there holding
He
it.
won't get rid of it.
All right, so you have no worries about the
right
bad, the right tackle. When he went out, Ole Miss blew that new kid up.
No,
No worries about them having the bad loss, the let down in Oxford, and then I know they're at home though, right? Kentucky's going home.
yeah, it's at Kentucky. I think Kentucky can control the ball. Turnovers are going to be a factor here too, and if he can't get rid of that football, that defense will be on his butt.
Kentucky's defense is legit. They're solid. We saw it this weekend.
I mean, that's just where I am. It's Kentucky -10. I don't. Spencer Rattler has never really lit my world on fire as a quarterback.
No, the only thing I can say there with South Carolina is that Beamer gets those boys to play. I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, even if the game is 17 points in the fourth quarter, they're gonna keep playing. But if Kentucky can put it on them early, if Will Levis becomes that NFL quarterback everybody's talking about it, and Barry and Brown gets loose, boy, we saw that dude up close and personal. How incredible is number 2, Barry and Brown for the Kentucky Wildcats?
Yeah.
Kid's got skills.
And they got two running backs that can go.
Well, they got Rodriguez back. That's big.
Yeah, so it doesn't really. I mean, if they can just control the ball, and then Spencer Rattler just can't get it going, they get frustrated. Kentucky should control that.
Run that thing up. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
I had one more game.
You convinced me.
One more game was James Madison -11.5 at Arkansas State. The reason is I don't know how good this James Madison team is. I know that the stats are incredible.
They're undefeated, 4-0.
They're top 15 in every category, everything you look at.
I think they're giving up under 60 yards a game rushing.
Yeah, so we'll
Is that good?
Yeah, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If these some bitches want to go out there and go undefeated.
All right, I'm gonna tell you the only reason I didn't take that game.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned before, there are 5 teams in FBS that are perfect against the spread on the year. We already mentioned Southern Miss, right? Playing at Troy.
Well.
One of the other teams is James Madison.
Well.
You want to know who one of the other teams is?
You're gonna tell me Arkansas State, aren't you?
Arkansas State is 5-0 against the spread this year, and that's 11 points. They can score the football. They're not very good on defense, but look, that James Madison defense seems legit. I'm with you.
I want to find out what they have.
We've watched them play. You know, we watched them beat App State after trailing 28 to what, 6 at the 7 at the half.
I'm curious.
So look, I had it, and I thought about putting it as one of my plays for this week, but I saw that stat, and there are 2 games this week that feature both teams undefeated against the spread this year, and that's one of them.
Somebody's O's got to go.
No, 2 O's are going. You know who the other game is? I'm just going to bring it up real quick, and we'll get to it later. The other game involves College Game Day.
Oh, yeah.
TCU and Kansas are both 5-0 against the spread this year. So, anyway, we'll get to that game later, but those are the 5 teams: James Madison, Southern Miss, TCU, Kansas, and Arkansas State. And it's just kind of odd that 4 of those, it's 2 games out of 4 of those 4 teams.
The one team that I will not be looking at, and you're having not a good run at things when people look at you in your face and tell you, do not pick my team ever again.
Well, I think we talked to him this morning.
Commissioner Ken Murphy.
He right there. He sat and had coffee with us today, and we let him have a seat right at the end of the table.
He's supposed to be looking for votes. He tells me, don't you
ever pick our team, my team. He said, my team.
Well, I'll tell you what, State fans, I won't pick y'all again, but I promise you, the Egg Bowl, I'm picking State.
Go. You're taking State. Yeah, we gotta. When the Egg Bowl comes around, we're taking State.
I get it, man. I won't jinx y'all no more this year. That's on me.
I'm not picking that game. All I'm going to tell you is, people out there that are wondering, if you're curious where we are, this is the only thing I'm going to tell you. Do not bet that game unless KJ Jefferson is playing. I'm not going to tell you which way to go. I think you can figure that out. Or only bet. Let me make that clear. Only bet that game if KJ Jefferson is out.
That line has gone from 3 to 8
to 9.5.
Oh my God! It's
so they're not expecting KJ to play, and if he's still, I think the rumor is it's concussion protocol. Look, even at 9.5, I'm not scared of that game if KJ's out. I don't know what they have outside of KJ Jefferson. I mean, honestly, the kid's a stud from North Panola. Played from Sardis, Mississippi. Yeah. Played for North Panola. Shout out to KJ Jefferson from Mississippi. But watch that game. Watch the line. If KJ's out, go and make your decision there. I'm not going to tell you which way to go or not go. But because we're not allowed to pick State anymore.
9.5?
Yeah, that's what I had it earlier today.
Lord have mercy.
But that's probably has to do with the unknown status of KJ Jefferson.
I will not be picking State. Y'all are welcome.
But they're at home, 11 a.m., SEC Network.
I accept Venmos.
All right, what you got next for us, Paul?
Oh, can I talk about my fishing?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not? We got time. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear, because, boy, I saw it, and I didn't read much into it, but I saw it, and I read the tagline, and, I mean, who does this?
All right,
hope all my fishermen, for Brandon Williams, if you're out there listening, please don't do this. Don't embarrass me.
For anybody that's listening right now, I'm just letting you know I'm about to cuss. All right,
You're going to say shit or damn?
Both. They had a walleye fishing tournament.
Walleye
in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, all right.
And apparently there's a lot of money in this thing, and it's a yearly event. And there's 2 guys, and I don't have their names available right now, but yeah, anybody that knows what I'm talking about knows who these guys are. These 2 jackasses.
You can't. I mean, that's
in an interview,
the best word you can use.
Pre-flop. Before the weigh-in, they're talking about, hey, winners win. That's what we do. All right, so they're arrogant pieces of crap, basically.
Winners win, baby.
All right, so what pissed me off the most, and I think it pissed anybody who fished and is a sportsman, they took filet walleye, wrapped dumbbells, wrapped them in filet walleye, shoved them down these fish's throat. I'm sorry. This is what happened. I don't know how else to say it.
To increase the weight.
Yeah, not just one.
But
8 pounds and 5 fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, these dumb son bitches.
They overcooked it. Look, I know this fish don't weigh 42 pounds. I'm looking at it.
That's the tournament director. Like, these guys know when they look at a fish, and a lot of the
They can probably guess the weight most of the time.
They'll get within 6 ounces, sure.
Right.
I mean, they'll know. These morons, all they had to do.
Let's put 12 pounds of weight inside this 2-pound fish.
They had won the last three
and
big
they hadn't been caught before this?
Well, there's been there was one episode where they failed because they got to take a truth test. What do you call it? A lie detector. And they failed one side. And it's a lot of moving parts in it. Mm-hmm. All right, so to finish my story, these morons had to finish in the top 6 in this tournament.
Okay.
All right, so they loaded this poor ass these fish. They were just swimming, man. Why you? They could have let them go. You'd have to kill these damn fish.
You killed other fish to stuff into the water.
That's stupid, man. All right, so all they needed was to finish in the top 6 to win, and they would have won like $300,000, whatever. How many money did they win?
Right.
These jackasses did this, got caught, got probably going to go to jail, and if they would have just weighed their fish,
they probably would have finished.
They would have finished in the top. They would probably been in the top 3. They'd have won.
Morons.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's not. That's
these dudes, and I'm telling you right now, I know a lot. I don't fish as much as I used to when I was younger. I just don't have the time. But this shit right here that happened would not happen at DeSoto Lake or Moon Lake.
No, somebody be caught and bust your ass. Hey, you bring a fish up here that looks like 3 pounds and it weighs 15. Yeah, we got questions.
Oh, they lucky. These guys are going to go to jail probably.
Probably so for something stupid.
No,
it's fishing, man. Come on.
These jokers rode up in freaking $120,000 trucks and $200,000 boats, and they're cheating. And they're
going to lose it all. They're going to lose it all.
And they're taking money out of these families. What these guys out there just fishing, trying to do their thing, doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Because these assholes can't play fair.
That's awful.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And if some of y'all who are out there know what I'm talking about, these two jackasses don't ever. They deleted social media. They did all this crap.
I'm sure they did because they didn't want to hear all the criticism.
Oh my God! If you ain't never seen that video, go watch it. When he pulls the weight out and says we got weighted fish, and this poor dude never moved. He just sat there like he ain't done shit wrong and just ducked his head. He just ducked his head like he didn't do shit wrong. Go watch that crap. Anyways, that's so bad. We're a sports betting show, and if they had
how bad would that piss you off if we got busted, if we lost because the line where some dude was weighting it down? You wouldn't have been able to stop Paul. He'd have been calling every betting site there was and say, hey, what's going on here?
I don't understand why. And what's so bad is that there's videos of this jackwagon being arrogant about being the best there is. Like, winners win.
Oh,
that's all we do. Knowing damn well he's taking a 2-ounce fish and putting 18 pounds of weight in the damn thing.
No wonder you're winning. I mean, come on, man. Cheaters.
Anyway, that's my rant on the fishing side of things.
Well, anything else?
That wouldn't happen. At the DeSoto Lake Classic, you let that bullshit go down?
No, that wouldn't happen. No, it's not happening.
Hey, he'd be lucky to go to jail.
Oh yeah, it'd be pulled behind a boat somewhere. It'd still be trying to come up for air.
Yeah, it'd be trying to ski. We're joking.
Yeah, we're joking. Nobody around here would do that. No,
not here.
No, not around here. Not at all. Okay. Anything else, Paul? I mean, that's a weak slate for this weekend. There's a bunch of games out there, man.
Well, that's just where I'm at. I'm loading. I'm zoned into that. I haven't been good lately because I've been wishy-washy. So,
all right. Well, I've got a whole list of shit here.
Get after it, Biscuit.
So we're going back to the well on 2 games, and look, I'm just going to tell you: when you find something you like and it works, you don't move off of it. Just like 2019 when LSU and Joe Burrow went out there and kicked the shit out of everybody, went undefeated and won the national title.
Just ride that train.
How much money did we make off the Tigers that year?
Just ride it.
Found it early, liked it, and stuck with it. So here's 2 I'm sticking with, and just it's because it's there. I don't have to give you any stats. I don't have to give you any information about it because they're both heart plays and they're both hot plays. What's the This is the heat check. These are heat check plays, man. We're way past heat check. Heat check is after you've made 2 or 3, and then you start sending it out from what's happening.
I think our buddy might be trying to break in. Go ahead.
Oh. So, you know where I'm going, and everybody out there in the world probably already knows where I'm headed. Ole Miss Vandy, 3 o'clock, SEC Network. This number's way higher than it should be. It's 62. There's no way that game's getting to 62 points. Even if Ole Miss tries to dial up some more offense, get Jackson Dart going, I'm telling you, you watch that defense against Kentucky. What are they going to give up against Vanderbilt? 10 max?
Yeah.
So they'd have to score 52 points. They're not going to go out there and score. They don't even want to. They've got a big game coming up with Auburn the week after. They just came off an emotional, big, huge win against Kentucky. So I like this game. What do we have the Georgia Tech game? 42-0. I like this game maybe 42-10, maybe. So yeah, I'm hammering the under with Ole Miss again.
Yeah, I hope we get to see a lot of Luke Altmaier.
No, I think it'll be Kincaid Dent. I think Altmaier's done. I don't think he's going to be a Rebel anymore.
Oh, he's leaving?
Yeah, if they got a plan, I think the whole deal was not to burn his red shirt so he could transfer. Probably. I know. I understand. Mine too. So in the other one, here we go. Back to the well. We're going to Lawrence, Kansas with the Jayhawks.
Rock chalk.
Look, they're coming right out of game day, and here's the only sad thing is this game's regulated to FS1. That's okay, 11 o'clock, FS1. TCU's coming off a big, huge win against Oklahoma. Understand Oklahoma doesn't look like the Oklahoma of old, and I tried to tell everybody that way back. Wasn't a big fan of Brent Venables. I didn't think he had a good handle of that program. And I don't even know. I'm not even touching that Oklahoma-Texas game, but yeah. Here come the Horned Frogs coming into Kansas. That place is going to be absolutely rocking. And I know what a crowd can do for a team. The Jayhawks are going to be ready. They're going to be fired up, and it's +7. Jayhawks are catching 7 points. Give me the Jayhawks +7. Give me the Jayhawks on the money line. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk.
Who do you reckon's going to be the guest picker?
Man, I have absolutely no idea. It's Kansas. I can't.
Yeah, name one NFL player that came from Kansas.
Okay, you go.
I don't think he played at Kansas.
I have no idea. I should have known that question was coming.
All right, back to your. How does 34-15 hit you for Ole Miss over Vanderbilt?
That's fine, but that covers the spread too. I like the -17. I thought that game would be -20 or 21. I kind of like Ole Miss minus the 17 and the under 62. I think those are both. You could parlay those two. Take the -17, take the under 62, throw it in with another game you like. You got a 3-teamer right there. Throw $100 at it and see what you get.
Yeah, they're not. The predicted score on Sportsline is 34-15.
That covers, right? Isn't that 19?
Yeah, I mean no, you're good. Yeah, you're way under. Way under.
Oh, I thought this under was going to come in at like 55, 56, and when I saw 62, things moved. So I'm all in on the under again, and I get it. We are really testing fate here with the Jayhawks, but like I told y'all at the beginning. When you find a play and you like it, you got to play it until it plays you. So why would I be different now? Why would I change and go, you know what? Boy, those...
You going to take them on the money line or the spread?
Come on, Paul. Look, yeah, absolutely. I already said it. Money line and the +7. So that way, if they don't happen to win... but I'm pulling for them. They've done a great job. If you've actually watched them, and I have, you may say, frankly, you don't know. Look, that kid, Jalen Daniels, from Kansas is really good. Paul and I both watched him. We've had him. Haven't we had him on a TV every single weekend?
Well, it's fun to watch them.
Yeah, and they actually played great defense against Iowa State. They're getting more confident with every week. That means Lance is not. He's not buying into. Last year, he didn't buy into a close loss to Oklahoma. He said, we're not here for, what do they call them?
Moral victories.
victories. Yeah. So he's changing the culture there in a hurry, and I get it. It sucks for Jayhawks fans because you're probably only thinking about who's going to be our coach next year because it's not going to be Lance.
There's a bunch of good coaches need a job right now.
Absolutely. You can find some good coaches at the Power Fives. Look at Kane Womack at University of South Alabama. I mean, doing a great job there.
It's 10-10 at SMU and.
Well, that line's close, so it's not bad. Yeah. But neither one of us took that game, did we? I didn't bet it. Did you bet it? No, I didn't think so.
If I were gonna bet it, I'd have bet the Golden.
Okay, here's one I got for you because I'm surprised you didn't take this one. Purdue travels to Maryland, 11 o'clock, Big Ten Network. Let me tell you, don't get sucked into what Purdue did to Minnesota last Saturday. Now I get it, Franklin. You told us to take Minnesota. Yeah, you're damn right. I absolutely did,
and we did.
And I apologize for that. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't do my homework. And let me tell you why. Because I already knew Minnesota was a great running team. Here's the problem. They can't throw it. And Purdue made them one-dimensional, and Minnesota never had an answer. And Purdue could throw the ball a little bit. We've seen them. That Aiden O'Connell's pretty good for Purdue. Yeah. Well, he threw it around a little bit. Minnesota got behind. And when you can't throw it and you get behind, what happens, Paul?
It's not good.
It's not good.
You're looking at 10 guys in the box.
That's right. You see it. So Purdue's pass defense, if you look at the yards that they give up, it's only about 214. But here's the stat that I looked at. We saw Purdue in that first game at Penn State. They couldn't tackle in the secondary. I mean, they could not stop Penn State. So here's the thing. They give up over 13 yards per completion. That's a lot.
That's a little pineapple, ain't it?
So
on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you asked me what do the Terps average in the air? 11.73.
Oh, yeah, that's a first down.
So this is a big advantage for Maryland, and they're at home, and the line is only 3. And when you saw how they held in there with Michigan,
yeah.
So I give me little pineapple and the Terps at -3 all day long.
I don't hate it.
With Purdue coming to town.
That Mike Loxley is coaching the Maryland Terps.
Absolutely. Look, and the kid has come along. You know, we pulled for him last year because we liked his older brother. We liked Tua, and God help him. I hope he gets better. I mean, that was an awful
Give him
scene.
a week off, for God's
That was hey Miami, let the kids sit, man. Let the kids sit.
Hey.
They seem like a really good family. You never see anything. You don't want to see anything bad happen to good people. And Paul's been a big fan of Little Pineapple over there in Maryland, and I think he's going to get it done. I think Maryland takes down Purdue 11 a.m.
Little Pineapple is a term of endearment, by the way.
Absolutely.
Really like him.
We can't say his last name, so why screw it up? We don't want to screw up the last name. Yeah, it's Tua, Tiger, Baba, the how, you know where we're going. Y'all know. You know. We don't have to tell you.
No.
All right, here's a game, Paul. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because I'm not decided if I'm going to pick. I'm probably not going to pick this game, but it's a big game in the Pac-12. Utah has gotten their shit together ever since week 1 against Florida. Oh, yeah. That defense has been absolutely dominant. But, boy, did UCLA make me look like a dumbass last Friday when Washington came to town and Washington could do nothing. Michael Penix Jr. looked awful against the Bruins.
Bad killed me on Friday. Was that Friday night?
Yeah, that was last Friday night. So look, I'm still not a believer in UCLA, but Utah comes to town. That defense has gotten salty in the last 4 games. Utah is -3.5 at UCLA, 2:30 Fox. What are your thoughts there? It's 3.5. Utah is favored 3.5.
It's at UCLA.
It's at UCLA.
Yeah, that goes the home field advantage. Oh, because ain't nobody gonna be at that game.
No, nobody's gonna be there. I mean, that's the thing. Utah comes in. There's not gonna be any fans. UCLA people are gonna be at the beaches and doing their thing. So, and they're 5-0. I mean, that's why I don't know why coaches want to be out there.
I wouldn't bet.
Even when you're great, you don't get any fans.
If it's 2:30 Central, what would it be there?
Like 11:30, 12:30? Is it 2 hours?
They're not even awake.
No, and Utah's coming in, man. Look, they've been angry since that early season defeat against Florida.
I don't know if I'd bet that game, but
I think it's a stay away from me. I think Utah wins it, but again, they're the favorite. I would love it more if Utah was the dog here.
I don't like nothing about it. I'll be honest with you.
I think that line is begging you to take Utah because I think they made Utah a favorite for a reason. Like, I think they think UCLA is going to win that game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Maybe if you bet it, maybe throw just a little change on UCLA straight up. Go get your money line. Don't take the plus 3.5 because you got to play juice. If you think UCLA can cover the 3.5, take them to win it.
I don't see neither.
What do you think? Am I talking out of my ass?
No, I don't see either one of these teams being fired up for 11:30 kick. I
think it's 12:30. I think it's just 2 hours between Central and Pacific.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't know. They're used to like playing at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's just odd. I mean, it's a big game. It's two really good teams. I understand why they put it at 2:30. But
I wouldn't bet it. I think if I do anything, I might take the under because I feel like one team might come out flat.
Yeah.
And just not want to do it that day.
I don't have the over-under. I think it's in the 60s.
It's 64.5.
Ooh, yeah. I think I like the under there.
That's just because of the start time. And now I know that's not a capping tool, but it kind of is.
It kind of is. I mean, somebody's going to come out flat in that game. All right. I forgot. Here's another heart play.
Chanticleers.
No Coastal this week.
Why?
I didn't like it. The line's too big.
Can I take them?
They'll win, but they're not. I just don't know. Who are they playing again?
The only reason I didn't put them on my list is because I knew
you knew I was going to bring them up. Yeah. All right. So
add the Chanticleers on my list because now they're my team.
I think
I love the teal.
That line's 14 or 15.
Yeah. Well.
They probably. You've seen them. I've seen them give up too many points in the third and fourth quarter. I mean that's a lot of points. I love the teal.
They're playing the damn Warhawks of Louisiana.
ULM. I know.
They're gonna beat the shit out of them.
You're right. I know. Isn't it 17? I think it's 17. It's 17.
It's 13 and a half.
What? It's under 2 touchdowns.
You can't. We can't bet the same game.
I scratched that. Add my teal to the teal.
You heard it here first.
Add the teal to the teal.
The teal. I pull for the teal.
That's a first, Paul. You pulling for the Chanticleers. That's what in the hell's going on here?
13 and a half.
We are turned upside down right on top of our head. Oh my goodness
Louisiana,
gracious.
they're not good, are they?
They got better a little bit last year. I think they've won 2 games this year.
Ain't that the one where Bowden's coaching?
Yeah.
Terry Bowden?
That's right. Yep. All right, so Texas Tech rolls in to play the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Rolling on in there to OK. Look, I told you OK State is my pick for the Big 12 champion. And I think it's looking better and better and better. Oklahoma sucks. Texas
Wait till
is bad.
General Booty takes the damn. He's going to lead the soldiers down there. If you can't follow General Booty to victory, I don't want you on my team.
I'd prefer 8, but I don't know about laying the. I'm maybe willing to lay in the 9.5, but they're definitely going to be in one of my big money line parlays. Oklahoma State's going to take care of the Red Raiders. Red Raiders have been terrible on the road. They're good at home, and I get it. They've had a little flair this year, and they've been okay. But, they're coming into the big boys this weekend, and Oklahoma State's going to show them what football is all about, and it's going to be tough for the Red Raiders as they travel in to play the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So give me the Pokes in that game. I love Wake minus 17. I don't think I need to talk about that much. They're playing Army, who laid an egg on the road last week. Army's traveling to Wake Forest, and Wake Forest is the Demon Deacons are going to put it on the Black Knights there. That's not going to be any kind of game. So I'm sorry. So let's talk about a dog here that I like. I don't know. It's not a win, but I like. Give me the points with a pesky, solid, and really good-looking Washington State Cougar team. Cameron Ward, I mentioned before, coming over from Incarnate Ward. playing really good for Washington State Cougars. They go on the road. Who they're probably going to play the class of the Pac-12 in USC. Does USC play Utah this year? Because I think Utah is the most talented team. But Lincoln Riley's done a really good job over there at USC already with Caleb Williams over there. I don't know that they've played anybody. I'm still not convinced. So I look for Washington State to give them a game. I think 13's too much. And Washington State's on the road, and I get it, and that's probably hard to do. But they've only scored less than 40 once all year, and that was on the road in Corvallis. That's USC. But against Oregon State, USC traveled to Corvallis, only put up 17 points. But I still like the Cougars' chances of keeping this under 13 because I like Cameron Ward over there.
So I pulled up the Coastal Carolina and the Louisiana Monroe matchup.
Yeah.
Monroe got beat by Arkansas State 45-28.
Yeah, Arkansas State put them on them. I did see that.
Yeah. Then before that they beat Lafayette.
They did.
They lost 60-37 to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Nichols and then lost to
Nichols,
Texas.
yeah.
So you don't really know what Monroe's got.
And they haven't played. They haven't played like competition. That's why I didn't know what to do with that game.
Did Coastal not play Arkansas State?
Well, no, they're playing them this weekend. Oh no, they're playing you.
Good Lord.
No, Coastal's not played Arkansas State. No.
Gotcha. All right. Well, maybe. Well,
all right,
on them. I'm still on them.
You're still on them?
No.
Let's go Big Teal. All right. Here's another SEC game. I'm curious, and I think I know where I'm headed. Missouri travels to Florida. Don't let that Georgia game get in your head.
Yeah, I don't know what's fitting to happen there.
Mizzou spent way too much emotion in that near upset of Georgia, and I just think Florida's had some close calls with Kentucky and Tennessee. They beat up on bad teams. They're not going to win against good. Obviously they lost against Tennessee, but they played close. They lost against Kentucky. They played okay in the first half, but they beat up bad teams. And they had the big win when Anthony Richardson really played great against Utah. The defense isn't dominant, but I think they can lean on Missouri in the run game because Missouri gives up a lot in the run game. Georgia just, for whatever reason, laid down in that game, and they had to come back late to win it. I think Missouri is hung over. They knew they had a chance. They go into Florida, and I think the Gators take this one. I'd lay the 11 points.
Hey, Missouri's 4-1 against the spread this year.
That's true, but I don't think they get it here.
91% of the money bet on this game is on Florida.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know I'm on the wrong side on the money wise. Absolutely. They're coming off of that game. It's just hard to come back after such a close call.
Yeah, it could go two ways too, though. It could be one of those deals like a confidence booster, and
they could be riding that wave. You're right. They could be riding the wave because they knew they weren't going to beat Georgia, so they could be riding. So losing really wasn't a big deal.
It's at 11, so it's over a touchdown and a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd bet that one, but that's you, baby. You go get it.
All right, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think I know where I'm leaning, but here's one I'm definitely going. This is one of my money line dogs of the week. It's not the money line's not going to be big, but you'll get plus money. Georgia Southern heads to Georgia State. I'm guessing this has got to be a rivalry game, right? Georgia, they're both Georgia. Right? I think they're in the same conference. 1 o'clock, ESPN 3. You gotta have some internet there. You got to get on a computer. You got to get on the Roku or Apple TV or whatever you use.
Yeah.
What they say in a rivalry game, throw out the book, right? Throw the book out. Georgia State has not been good all year. I have seen life with the Eagles. Georgia State has averaged giving up 33.4 points a game for the Panthers. That's a lot of points, and the Eagles have been scoring about that same amount. So, look, they've struggled with balanced teams. The only reason Georgia State beat Army is because Army is not balanced. I like the Eagles to simply outscore the Panthers here, and therefore they supply the cover because they win. So if you want to take Georgia Southern, I think the line is 2.5 or 3. That's fine. You take the points. I'm taking the Georgia Southern Eagles on the money line. I'm adding them into a parlay. I may just throw 2 or 3 units right there on the Georgia Southern Eagles and just go collect that money, baby.
Here's something fun for you. 10% of the bets made on Georgia Southern, 2% of the money on Georgia Southern. You are.
I'm definitely on the right side of that.
You are sitting right in the middle of a gold mine.
Hell yeah, baby. Look, Georgia Southern Eagles going to take care of this game. They've been the better team all year. I don't understand it.
They're 4-1 against the spread this year.
Yes, they are. And they beat Nebraska. They've played some other teams tough. Give me the Eagles. Look, they can score. Georgia State cannot stop you from scoring. And like I said, the only reason they just destroyed Army, I get it, but Army's one-dimensional. So,
like to run it.
Hey, did you enjoy that Georgia Tech beating Pitt last week? How about that? Plus 1,000 Georgia Tech beat Pitt last week.
I didn't have anything on that game, and
I didn't either.
I actually had forgot about it, and then I was like, "Well, good for Georgia Tech." Did
Right.
they fire their coach and they go out and win a game?
They did. That all ends this weekend as the Duke Blue Devils come into town to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Here comes Duke. They're simply the better team. Pay no attention to that win that against Pitt for Georgia Tech. Duke will come in, take this game start to finish. I get it. Looks like a trap line. They're wanting you to take Duke because the line is low. Give me the Blue Devils minus 3.5.
I like Duke.
But yeah, I knew you did. I figured you'd be on my side here. All right, I got another dog for you, Paul, before we get to a couple more games, and then I'm out of here.
Right on out of here.
North Carolina Tar Heels travel to the Miami Hurricanes. 3 o'clock, ESPN 2.
Don't bet that game.
Miami is minus 3.5. I know we should never bet ACC games, but I got 2 to end with here. So look,
All right.
North Carolina's righted the ship. Not the defense, but they I think they lost opening weekend, but they've been good since. I think they're 4-1. Miami, we've seen chinks since the Southern Miss game. Van Dyke has regressed. This quarterback for North Carolina, May, has been electric in replacement of Sam Howell, who went off to the NFL in the draft of 2022. Defense is worrisome. I get it, but I like Mack and company to pull the slight upset here against the Canes. The Canes are only minus 3.5. So you can take UNC, probably get what, plus 145, 150, 165 maybe? 125, 135, something like that. Just somewhere in there. I like the Tar Heels here. Miami has not looked good. They've lost their last 2. Like I said, Van Dyke has not looked great in his last 3 games as they struggled with Southern Miss early.
What time does that game start?
3 o'clock, ESPN 2. Texas A&M travels to Montgomery? Birmingham?
Yeah.
Where in the hell does Alabama play? Tuscaloosa.
Good
I could
Lord.
not get it out. I don't know. Texas A&M travels to Tuscaloosa, and I hope they make a video Friday night because they're idiots. 7 o'clock, CBS, Bama minus 24. If Bryce Young plays, lay every point they put out there. That's my
Take
only
the alternate line.
That's my only advice. Whatever the line is, if Bryce Young plays, lay them.
Plus 150 on the.
There you go. North Carolina plus 150. You probably get plus 150.
Took me
Georgia
a while.
Southern. You got Georgia Southern. You got North Carolina and Kansas. Go get you a 3-teamer right there. Money line dog 3-teamer with Kansas, North Carolina, Georgia Southern. See what you get. I mean, throw $20 at it. You don't know. Who knows? Iowa travels to Illinois, 6:30, Big Ten Network. The Illini are favored minus 3.5. If the Illini get to 17, they're covering this spread. The defense for Brett Bielema and the boys has been fantastic.
He ain't going to stay there long either.
Nope.
He may end up back at Wisconsin.
No, Wisconsin hates him. There's no way they're bringing back Brett Bielema.
What they don't like about Brett Bielema?
No, they didn't end on good terms because
He bailed and went to Arkansas.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. Look, take the Illini here minus 3.5. I think they beat the shit out of Iowa. Iowa, the rose, the smell is off of that rose. It's done. It's over. You can't score. Yeah, your defense is great. Okay, yeah, fun. All right, wonderful. But
They wait to the kids, though. We like that.
Florida State travels to NC State, 7 o'clock, ACC. NC State's minus 3. We don't bet Dave Dorn on the road, but we bet Dave Dorn at home. The Seminoles
We are having all the trouble with the camera.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. They can hear us, though.
Yeah.
The Seminoles are a fraud. They're not any good. The Wolfpack's good. And the Seminoles come in. The Wolfpack's going to put a stank beat down on the Florida State Seminoles.
One of my picks is
NC State -3, easy.
No. All right. I'm not betting that game.
What else you got, Paul?
No, I ain't got.
Oh yeah, there was one other thing. Here's games I got that. Here's teams that have yet to cover. Stanford has yet to cover against the spread this year. They get the Beavers late. That's -7 for Oregon State. So if you want to get your money back late, that's a good game right there. Colorado State travels to Nevada. Colorado State is 0 forever against the spread. That's only 3.5 for the Wolfpack. And Fresno State, the Bulldogs, boy, they've fallen on hard times. They travel to Boise. They're getting 7.5 from Boise State. Boise State's probably going to cover that pretty good. And Colorado, here's what's funny. SEC Short said Colorado's on a bye, and they're 0 for forever against the spread. And they said Colorado's still getting 7 points in their bye. Like the bye week is going to beat the Buffaloes by 7.
It's not good.
That's not good.
Can LSU hang with Tennessee?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, I love LSU. That line's low too. I mean LSU. I like Tennessee. Yeah. Hendon Hooker's the better quarterback. So you know me, I like the better quarterback, even though they're on the road. But that game's early.
What am I hearing?
I don't know what you're hearing.
All right, there we go.
So send us home, Paul. Tell us what you got, what you're going to do. Give us some tips and advice for this weekend. Don't bet all the games that I said. Look, I'm just giving you everything I like and kind of where I'm leaning, so you can have options. We may come back tomorrow and I'll narrow it down to the ones I like the best.
Yeah, my advice to anybody that enjoys betting is to pick the games you like and then go further.
Then, like I did, I make this big list, and now tomorrow I'm going to dive in.
Yeah, go further. Try to find you a reason not to make the bet. If you can't find one,
right.
then bet it.
Then bet it. That's right. That's it. Yeah. So look, we're going to come back with you tomorrow.
And quit stuffing waiting fish. Make my ass drive to Cleveland.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. We're going to have to. I got to get on somebody for doing the whole fish thing. So look, we're going to come back with an interview with Bobby Spinks in our next episode. We talk a little Lee Academy Colts. We'll narrow down some picks this weekend, and then hopefully I'll go out to the game Friday night to the Wildcats play at their homecoming. So look forward to that, and we will see everybody next time. And this is Cashing Tickets, brought to you by Poolside Bets. So for Paul, I'm Franklin. We'll see you next time.
Bye.